Hello there to everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and night to some people. Hello, that's Molly, or we call him Molly Chops. He has the most beautiful face. He reminds me of Vincent van Gogh. If you were to see him close up, they will all have their own videos soon. But yes, I thought that thank you for being here. Although I assume if it's a title that you're not in a very good place now, may have lost a bet. What I wanted to discuss or talk or just mention is the death of a pet and the different ways that people react. Now, I've been in this business with cats for, oh good heavens, I don't know, forever, one way or another. And we are a sanctuary. That's Gracie. She never stops telling you where she's been and what she's done. And all the other male cats, including my Von Gogh here, are in love with her. Absolutely in love with her. There are many different types of owners of animals. And we were just a long time ago, well, not a long, but it seems that way. We're just a normal family with probably more than normal amount of cats. Anyway, something happened and it changed all that. And to cut a long story short, we had to come back to where we are to look after both our ailing mums. My mum passed a few weeks ago. She died here. This is where she wanted to die. She was 91. Hers birthday would have been on Tuesday, I think, on the summer solstice. Such an important day to us for so many reasons. It's strange, my mum was born on the longest day and my uncle was born on the shortest day. But anyway, so yes, people have animals, pets for different reasons. You could have the elderly need them as company, because I can promise from watching my mum watching the videos of only just Christmas, just that they might be in their 90s, 80s, but the brains are as quick and as funny, and if anything, the humour is amazing because they don't really care then what people think. Good on them. And neither should we. Now, we shouldn't care how people react to the death, to their reaction to us being upset or you being upset at the loss of your pet. Now, I'm a firm believer in balance. I'm a terrible believer in duality. And I mean, I'm a bit of a, I adore, my music is my main industry, but I'm an absolute avid, believe it or not, quantum physicist. I like quantum physics anyway. There's a reason for that. So the difference being where we are now, we're a no-cage animal sanctuary rather than a rescue centre. A rescue centre take animals and they get them better, and hopefully find the right family for the right animal. And they're committed, they're good people, they're people that, well, there's a company I won't mention, the largest, but others are better, some places are better than others. And then they'll always find a good home for them. Well, we take the ragged dolls, we have the ones that no one else really wants for every reason, medications, moving. Usually our parents moved on and, there's no one for their animals, and that's such where we are. We have also a very big duck colony, and we have 2 horses that we rescued that I'll tell you about. Theirs is a story of such beauty because it started off in so much pain for them. Now, you never get used to losing. You never get used to death. This I must tell you. Whether it be of a human entity or an animal or whatever, the death of something is something that's personal to every single being. And many react in different ways. Now, I see the balance that the happy family, they'll be upset, and they're upset a few days, yeah, but it's quite soon that the memory or the grief does pass. To the people that are more, shall I say, animal, I don't want to say animal people are better, because it's just we have more time and we choose to spend our time and our life now, or mine, looking after animals and doing everything I can for them. And so for me, they're a lifeline. But it also means that we have to deal with a lot that pass naturally. And it's as hard, I promise, for me anyway. My worst attribute is that I love too much. That's why I won't have people in my life. I love extensively. It's a curse. I just can't help it. I can't explain it, but it's too hard to explain. But anyway, yes, love definitely does hurt, I can promise. Everly Brothers were right. And so some people get embarrassed about being upset about the loss of a pet in front of other people. And you should never do that. You should be proud of your tears, that you've had the empathy to realise that more than a pet, it's something with a little life, had a little life. And you remember all the nice little times, and you realise. And the grief will pass. But for me, the level's heavy. I can't explain, but I remember every single one of the passings I had to attend, especially after our first sanctuary was attacked. I've never really got over it, which is why I prefer to be alone. If anyone knows anything about Carl Jung, it's been dark night of the soul for about 8 years. Not a nice time, culminating with the passing of my mum. No one ever wants to do CPR on the mum. Hardest thing in the world. But anyway, so I wanted people to not be embarrassed about your affection and your grief after the loss of a pet, because it's personal to you and your world. It's affected your world in a positive way, and you're going to miss them. They'll be in a far better place, I promise. But as I say, the amount that you sort of put in is, unfortunately, the more love you have for them, the harder the grief, as I find. But I just don't want people ever to feel that they're ashamed of an animal passing a pet and then they being upset. I have a little centre where people can go and just sit and talk to others that have lost them and talk together about, I don't talk to people. I wouldn't ever repeat what I've seen. I try and just have sereneness, even though I've got building work going on. I just concentrate on my family of animals and all sorts, living in the woods for so long. You realise that maybe growing up we were told lots of porcupines by the governments of how and why our little planet Earth is ruled is the way it is, and I think they've been very naughty in the fact that they've not disclosed articles you know, that are relevant to each and every one of us on the planet. I'm not going to go too deep, but I'd just like to say love all you can, enjoy all you can, those you love around you. Make sure you call in on that person you've not seen for a while, or say hello to a neighbour that no one speaks to. Because I had cats, I became pariah. Where I was, houses hopefully being sold. I couldn't stand it anymore. They would attack my cats with, you know, those high velocity water things. It was horrible. And you wouldn't expect it. I don't do socio-economical things, but it wasn't the sort of place that one would have expected that. But it breaks your heart because they don't know what we had done, had seen and had to go through. And then I found this place where it was found for us. I do believe that it's a place to heal, but you don't always heal. Would I say get another pet? If your relative is quite, you know, an aging, it's probably not the best thing, but getting access, there are places that literally will take an animal, leave them with you for a couple of hours and let you, Miranda, she's beautiful, my wood pigeon. You know, it's just look a bit deeper and a bit more around you. Notice that things have changed a lot. Has anyone noticed how the saying time flies all of a sudden seems quite relevant in the fact it feels, although the clocks and the world goes by as normal, it does feel that it's going faster and faster. And in an odd way, but that I can't explain. Maybe that's just I'm a bit kooky, eccentric. Who knows? I've lived that many lives in this life that I don't know who I am anymore. I was so broken by what happened that I'm hoping these videos will help me heal. Because if they don't, I have no future. But we'll see. Every penny of my house sales going to go into vet's fees and making sure they have everything they need and things like that. Not been on holiday for 14, 15 years. Not been for a meal out in as many. Probably only eat 3 or 4 nights a week. It's a different way of life, I guess. Animals don't. They've got food down everywhere all the time. This is Betty down there. Little one, that beautiful girl. No, Betty boob. Are you alright? They have the afternoon strolls, they promenade. But yes, as with anything, remember an animal is living. They have emotions, they have personalities, and a lot of them have jobs to do. We know this. I've seen what the jobs animals have to do. I've got a pingu that's escaped one of the chickens from, they have their area separate. Pingu, hello. I'll leave it at that, but I just wanted to say that it doesn't matter how many times you lose an animal, you don't get used to the loss. You don't get used to the grief. You will, it gets easier to handle and it gets less over time. And you learn how to handle it. I have a silly way that when I cry, as I've done a heck of a lot of recently, I cry for all the animals that have been with us or we've had involvement with. So I don't make it about just one thing. I try and make it about all. Remember all of them. And so I send messages of love to anyone that needs it. Anyone that's lonely, please comment. I'll always answer you. Don't like the thought of anyone being lonely, especially the elderly. It upsets me. It's, again, part and parcel of the curse of loving too much. Anyway, I think it's time for me to check out Hello Tufty. Yes, he's got conjunctivitis, and we think that's why he's with us. But he is my absolute, he's my sentinel. He looks after everyone and everything. He's so good. He is our alpha cat, without a doubt. Keeps an eye on all of them. But now his eyes are very poorly. Not atrophied, but it's just the pollen can affect also and bring it out. And Grace is under the seat, and she'll have a male following her shortly. Anyway, probably time I said goodbye. Waste too much of your time. But yeah, it's different for everybody, the loss of a pet. And if the person in your life is making it hard for you to grieve, go to the toilet, go for a walk. We all have our opinions, and we can't judge. We don't stand in judgment. We just avoid the area, the subject, shall we say, or the, But we're always here. If you ever drop a comment, it would be nice. But I guess we just have to see. I'm not a person that tries and tries. I just do it. It's really, I guess it's really, hello Theodora. Theodora. I guess it's, anyway. Alright, I think that I want a little bit of afternoon tiffin. So, hopefully speak to someone at some point soon. Who knows? Anyway, with blessings, love, lots of light. Lots and lots of light in your life. Bless you all.